and you're all very welcome to Gerry Cooley's pitch to Capital D for the year 2011. I'm down here in the bowels of the Swan Bar in Aungier Street, and the name of my pitch is called Portals to the Past. There are 3 gateways to the past involved in the Strand. My contention is that thousands of people walk around the streets of Dublin every day. They walk over things, they walk beside things, through things, and they look up at arches and they walk through them, and they've no idea of the historical significance. They've no idea that they're so very close to aspects of Dublin's history. So the very first place I'm visiting today is down here in the Swan Bar, and what we're going to be looking at is the remnants of an old bottling machine that John Lynch's grandson Ronan is going to show us out here in the back. The Lynches came here in 1937. They were the second publicans here. John O'Reilly was here before them at the turn of the century. It was him that named the Swan Bar as it is today. And from 1937, John Lynch's son, John Lynch Jr., and the grandson Ronan, they've been here busily dishing out pints to the people of Dublin. But something very unusual to find. We actually have some of the original labels called John Lynch, and that's the way it worked. What happened was you bottled your beer in downstairs in the pub, and you stuck your own label on it. It had Guinness, but they printed the name and address of the pub, and we have boxes of them and boxes of other ones that even go back to the time of John O'Reilly. So this is a very unique part of pub culture and pub folklore here in Dublin, and this is the first of the strands. The second strand is a gateway up in Dame Street, called a doorway in Dame Street called the Ousel Galley. There is a concrete plaque over the door with the date 1792 on it, and there's a great story to be told about that. The Ousel Galley, of course, everybody knows, any historian will tell you, 1694 the Ousel Galley sailed out of Ringsend, 40 men on the crew. They disappeared for 5 years around the South China Seas, and everyone in Ireland, Dublin, had given them up for lost. The insurance people paid out on the cargo, and the wives, of course, were paid the insurance for their husbands. But unfortunately for the wives, who went on to marry again, who sailed into the Bay of Dublin one day, 5 years later, it was the ship, the Ousel. So I'm going to tell you that story as well. And the last one is going to be the arch up in the Customs House quarter, which is out just beside the new warehouse, the retail unit. That was originally out in Amiens Street, or Amiens Street. It comes from the French region, Amiens, and that arch was moved from there. It was a gateway into the bonded warehouse for tobacco, whiskey and coal, the coal yards of George's Quay. So that gateway, there was a high wall around it. Some of that wall is still to be seen in Common Street. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you the significance of the arch, and then we're going to walk through it, and we're going to visit the Customs House quarter retail unit, which in actual fact is the old tobacco warehouse, and it's there where that's where the big Crimean banquet was held in the late 1860s, and I'm going to give a little bit of chat about that as well. So there's 3 2-minute segments, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to give you some shots to look at of the arch and the Ousel to complete the pitch. Thank you.